purpose of this video is to go over the Keno question that shows up in 3.5. So reading a little bit about Keno on page 174 of your book, Keno is a casino version of the lottery. So it has balls that are numbered 1 to 80, and the player buys a Keno ticket in which they select anywhere between 1 and 15, usually 6, 8, 9, or 10. And if they get so many of those numbers, they can win whatever the setup is. So we're going to look at the probability that we win 8 spots. We're going to pick 8 choices. So the same as the burrito problem in this section, we're going to do a lot of the same type of setup there. So here, we're going to say how many are we going to pick that are winning, right, in this box, times how many we can pick that are losing, divided by the total. And this is going to be the same setup for kind of the burritos, the hot burritos, the not hot burritos, and the total picking. So we are picking out of 80 numbers, we are choosing 8 of them, right? There are only 20 numbers picked. So there's only 20 numbers that can be considered the winning numbers. So out of the 20, we're going to choose 8 of them, and out of the 60 losing numbers, we're going to choose 0 of them. And the same thing for the 7 winning spots. So this is going to be the 8 winning spots. The 7 winning spots, we're going to choose 7 of the 20 winning. We're going to choose 1 of the 60 losing over 80, choose 8, right? That's the 7 winning spots. The 6 winning spots, we're going to choose 6 of the winning spots. So we're going to pick 2 of the non-winning spots over 80, choose 8. So some things that show up here, the 20 plus the 60 is the 80. That's the total number. 20 of them are winning, 60 are not winning out of the 80 total. And then we want to pick 6 in this category. So we have 2 left because we're picking 8 total. Right? So the setup here is pretty straightforward, right? If we want to pick 5, 20 choose 5 times 60 choose 3 over 80 choose 8. All the bottom numbers here are the same. It's at 80 choose 8. So the trick can get to calculating these numbers. So if you have a calculator here, I have just a regular Casio calculator, and most calculators have this NPR, NCR. That's the combination and permutation button. If you look at some other calculators that I just got off the internet here, this is a different Casio, and you can see it's over here. Let's see, change my color here. I have this NPR and NCR. TI, you have to push this probability button, and then it will pop up with like n factorial and then NCR, NPR, or something like that. So that you can see that, the probability button. Most calculators have the ability to do a permutation and a combination. So if we go back over here, these are going to be huge numbers. And you can see your scientific calculator doesn't have that ability, but you can always write out what 20 choose 8 is. That's going to be 20 factorial over 20 minus 8 factorial. And make sure I tell you that correctly. Oh yeah, divided by 8 factorial. Sorry about that, because it's dividing out the repeats. Right, so you could plug this in a calculator, in like your computer calculator. 20 factorial is just a huge number. Divide that by 8 factorial, divide that by 12 factorial, and we get a pretty decent number, but you can do it that way. Or you can use a combination calculator. And if we go back over here and show you that step, if I just put in my calculator 20 combination 8 and hit enter, it's going to give me that same number. So that was 60 choose 0. In this case, it's just going to be 1. I can put that in my calculator. 60 choose 0. That's 1. Times 1 divided by, so I'm going to multiply these together, divided by 80 choose 8. And this is just a huge number. If I come over to my calculator, it's going to give it to me in scientific notation. 80 choose 8. And you can see here, this is scientific notation. This times 10 to the 10th power, if I go ahead and write that out, what our calculator says, 2.898753715 times 10 to the 10th power. This times 10 to the 10th power means I move this decimal 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So really this number is this number. I think I got off on some of my numbers there. 2, 8, 9. Oops, lost an 8 there. 28987. So that's that number. However, if you plug this in your calculator and you take the top number divided by the bottom number, again, it could give you a decimal approximation. And if you get in your calculator, it can actually just put it all in with the combination button. So I open parentheses for my top would be 20 choose 8 times 60 choose 0. And you can see that top divided by 80 choose 8. And again, it gives me in scientific notation, which is okay, I can deal with that. Right? If I write it in scientific notation, I get 4.3457, oops, 4566066, 6 times 10 to the minus 6. And that minus 6 means I'm going to move the decimal to the left 6 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to round the decimal 8 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I look at the 9th one. If it's 5 or larger, I round up. So my answer here is 0.00000435. Now, if I go to the second question and I use my calculator here, I'm going to have the very same setup, but it's going to be, I'm only going to pick 7 winning numbers. So 20 choose 7 times 60 choose 1 divided by 80 choose 8. Okay, so just kind of seeing that on top, you can see I choose 7 of the winning numbers, 1 of the losing numbers. 80 choose 8, not 0. 8. And hit enter. And again, it gives it to me in scientific notation, but I can deal with that. So writing that down here, I have 1.60455161 times 10 to the minus 4th. So taking out a scientific notation, right? The decimal is here, but I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Rounding 4 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean 8 decimal places. I get 0.000160446. That would be my answer there. You're going to do the same thing with the 6 winning spots, 5 winning spots, and 4 winning spots, right? The 4 or a few winning spots, what you can do here, all this is going to add up to 1. So if you know this number, this number, this number, this number, and this number, you can take 1 minus the sum of these numbers and get your answer here. All right, so holding the 8 decimal places is just kind of cumbersome, but it's doable. Various ways to do it. If you don't have a calculator that does probability, combinations, or permutations, then you're going to have to go about it a little bit the long way, where you're going to have to plug in what this number is, what this number is, and what this number is. This number is always this, though, so that's kind of nice. You have that, the denominator. You just find it, the numerator here, 20 choose 7 times 60 choose 1, 20 choose 6 times 60 choose 2, and so forth. So hopefully this helps with rounding. If you have any other questions, please let me know. The burrito questions are going to be very similar to this. Hot burritos, not hot burritos, the total number of choices you have.